This morning, I put on my CEO hat and did one of the most powerful things you can do for your business. And it gave me the reality check that I needed. If you want to take the pulse of your business and set a clear direction for the next 30 days, this will help. And you can do it in less than 60 minutes. It's a simple two-step process you do at the beginning of each month that lets you step back, review what's going on, and create your action plan for the next 30 days. So it's time to celebrate and plan your awesome month. I'm Heather Cameron, and I help business owners simplify their business, get clear on what matters, and take actions that create results. And as I mentioned, I do this at the beginning of every month for myself and for my clients. And if you get in the habit of doing this, if you make this a business ritual, a non-negotiable, that on the first day of the month or within the first couple of days of the month, you are going to sit down and do this. It can shift your business so much because it creates clarity and focus. And it's a simple process. It doesn't have to take time and it can become a habit. So the first part is celebrate. We have to go back and look at what happened in our last month. We have to do it without judgment. This isn't about judging what we've done. It's about actually just reviewing it and seeing what we can learn from it. So the first part is looking at your finances. We are in business to make money. There is no other way. That is the definition of business. It's to create a relationship with your clients where they pay you for whatever it is you deliver, and we're making money for our lives and for ourselves. And so looking back at your finances is key. I have a really simple tracking sheet where I'm just looking back at the larger number of how much did I make. And I don't just look back at the last month. I look back at the fiscal year because that's what we need to focus on. Some of us, including for myself, my business has months that are exceptional because of I'm doing a large event, and I have other months that I need to kind of raise the bar, so to speak. So getting as much profitability in my lower income months and then managing and obviously increasing my income in my high income months. But I need to look at it and I need to say, honestly, did I hit my goal? Did I or did I not? And if I didn't, why didn't I? Right? So just looking at those financial numbers looks at the health of your business. So that's one part of it. And that's a lot of places where people kind of stop. They look at their financial numbers, they kind of go, what did I do? And then they move forward. But I want to add a layer of a little bit of self-reflection. So one of the questions that I always start with is, what did I accomplish? So what did I actually do? It can be big or large. What did I actually do? I went off track last month. So knowing what I accomplished and seeing, well, did I trade something off or did I space out and spend too much time on the internet, which isn't true in my case, but it's that understanding what you accomplished and what you did with your time. The next question is what worked well? So what worked really well in your business? What was just like ticking, worked really well, something that you want to, maintain and enhance, but what worked really well? What were your challenges? Excuse me. What were your challenges? And for me, like I just said, one of my challenges is I had a plan and I just checked out, for lack of a better word. For whatever reason, the plan that I want to do just wasn't working. And instead of figuring that out, I kind of checked out. I focused on some other stuff which I needed to do. I created revenue in my business, so I'm not beating myself up. But at the same time, I had this plan, and I'm having a relationship with it that I need to figure out why I'm not stepping into it. I did create revenue in another part of my business, so all is good. But what's going on here? Because I can't have it hanging over my head continually. I have to figure that one out. Um, and so that's one of the challenges I faced, really understanding that and looking at what it is. What did I learn? It's a great question to ask yourself. If you look back at the last month, did you learn anything? Did you learn something about yourself? Did you learn something about your industry? Did you learn something actual practical? So in the last month, I actually learned how to use Claude AI to do some programming that saved 40 hours of an event, 40 hours worth of work went down to 30 seconds. I mean, great, something I wouldn't have done before, but with AI, it allowed me to put it in. I learned something that not only can I do more of, but I can actually teach. So that was kind of a really powerful thing. I'm embracing AI in a very different way. So that is something that I learned. It's actually something I accomplished that wasn't on my plan. So like I said, sometimes we have trade-offs and we have to look at them. What do I want to do differently? What do I want to improve on? What do I want to do differently? Is a great question. And what am I grateful for? What am I grateful for in this? And those are really powerful questions. You can add more. Other ones that you can look at is your audience size. Did it grow? Did it shrink? You can get into the analytics of it, which I think are important. We have to know our business. We have to know, is our audience growing? Where are we reaching out? But I also think doing that self-reflection can really put you in a powerful position. And one question that I love to add that you won't see many people asking is, what do I want to leave behind? And that one may, percolate in your brain for a while before you come back to it. What do you want to leave behind? Right? Is it self-doubt? Is it procrastination? Is it some product you no longer want to sell? Is it a client? There's just so many things that you can put into that and directions that you can take it, but just asking yourself the question will start to get there and start to percolate. And then when you've done this, when you've celebrated and you've caught your numbers and you know what you're doing, it's time to move forward, right? We want to celebrate and just wherever you are in your business, good, bad month, celebrate that you're still here, that you're still in business, that you're still doing things, right? You're still trying. Celebrate that because it's not, this is not an easy path that we take as entrepreneurs. So celebrating the fact that you're still there and you're committing it, no matter how your month goes, give yourself a pat on the back. And then it's time to look forward, right? And look forward at what you want to do for the next month, like really planning out the things that you want to do and recognize that you can't do everything. So we are on the plan part of it. And looking at what you want to plan is really setting there, okay, what are my 2 or 3 big goals? And not just looking at the current month. Look at the current month, but look at what's coming up. Because for myself, I have a huge summit coming up in 2.5 months. I need to do work this month to be able to be prepared to promote it the following month. If I don't look at that, obviously I'm going to be in trouble. So it's not just looking at this month, it's looking at the 90 days, which is why I believe in a 90-day rolling plan, because you're always kind of keeping your eye on what's happening in your business and what's coming up in the future. But what are your top 2 or 3 goals? What are the top 2 or 3 things that you want to accomplish this month? Those are the goals, and now we're going to break them down into actions. What do you have to do to achieve those goals? How are you going to do that particular thing? I have, like I said, a big event coming up. So what do I have to do this month to actually do it? I need to create some website pages. I need to do some onboarding. I need to connect with my speakers. There's a lot of things I need to do that go to that one goal, which is being ready to start to promote our event in May. And when it comes to the thing where I kind of had my little eye openers, one of the things I have to do, my goal is to decide what I'm doing with this idea. Right? I have an idea for a new program I want to launch. I think it's timely. I think it's needed. And I put it off completely in March. I need to make a decision. Is it go or no? Number one. And then if it's go, I need to start to set some goals. I need to say really specific goals that I do so I don't let it drift. Because when I don't have concrete goals and commitments is when I personally let stuff drift. And so I need to do, that's a big goal for me, right? One is to be ready for my event. And one is to decide what I'm doing, and another one is growing and promoting my coaching business, my coaching one-on-one clients. Those are 3 goals. That's all I can do. To be honest, we can't do more than 2 or 3 goals when they're that large in a month. So really pick those top 2 or 3 goals, the things that you want to achieve, and then what actions do you need to do? I can say I'd like to have, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, doesn't really matter the number, one-on-one clients, but just saying it does not get me there. I need to break it down into the actions that are going to get me there, right? How am I going to connect with these people? How am I going to build that? And so knowing that and breaking that down is really important. What am I selling? It's a simple question that you should always ask yourself. What am I selling this month? For some, it's an easy question. For some, it's not. Maybe you sell something once a quarter. Maybe you have a cycle. So what is your focus on this month? And I personally believe you should be selling every single month. So what are you selling this month? How are you growing your audience? Because if it's not growing, it's shrinking. And we could have a whole video about that. What's coming up? Like I said, what's coming up in the next 90 days so that you're focused on the things that you need to keep an eye on, and you need to make happen, you need to prepare for. What could be my biggest challenges? So these are the more reflective questions that can really change what you're doing. So what are your biggest challenges? Where do I need help? It's a tough one for business owners sometimes. Where do I need help? Right? Okay, I've got these things. Where do I need help? It's a good question. Maybe you don't, but where do you need help? And what will I do differently? So is there anything that you are going to do differently to move forward on this? And those are the set questions. And then I'm going to give you two very kind of thought-provoking questions that can really shift things for you. So one is, what do you need to believe about yourself or your business to make this happen? It's a really powerful question. What do you need to believe? If I look on my kind of personal experience in this one, okay, I didn't do what I was going to say I was going to do. What do I need to believe about myself? And I think that's probably the crust of why I haven't actually put the energy into it. It's a little bit of imposter syndrome, which on one intellectual level, I know I am not an imposter. On another, it creeps in for all of us, no matter where we are in our business. So what do you need to believe about yourself, right? In my case, I need to believe that I actually have a really unique take on something, that I am very skilled and knowledgeable in that take, that I can really help people and make a difference in their business. And have to stop comparing myself to other people who are going at it in a different direction. And I have an ability and an understanding that many people aren't taking. So I have a really unique take on something. And sometimes that makes you feel like you're doing something that nobody else is doing. So is it valuable? And yet I know it is. And so what do I have to believe about myself is that, yes, this is valuable. And yes, I have a unique take on something and that it's really powerful. And I have to stop doing the compare-itis thing. So that's an example of what do you need to believe about yourself. And the last question I'm going to leave you with on this one, which can really change, is who do you need to be to make this happen? Right? You've created this plan. Who do you need to be? And when I talk about be, it's the behavioral things that we're doing, right? And I've done a whole video and I can do a whole conversation on the be, do, have. But who do you need to be? Like if you want to grow your following, who do you need to be? Well, you need to be out putting content out. You need to be creating new relationships. There's a whole bunch of things that you need to be doing. And so it can be a really powerful question of who do you need to be to move forward in this? And it takes this process a little deeper. And you can do this in 60 minutes or less. I do this every single month. I have been doing this every single month for years. I do it with my clients every single month. And so much, sometimes it's a little bit, the same stuff comes up. Other times you really do have an insight because you've taken a moment, you've stepped back from your business, and now you're looking at it and you're creating a plan and a plan that's actually execution, a plan that you're able to execute on. Because it doesn't need to be a difficult plan. It just needs to be a plan that talks about those two or three top goals and then break it down to the actions. And you can take this as far as you want. You can break it down to the actions and put the actions in your calendar. We all manage how we work differently, which is why I'm not going to go into time management and where to put things here. How you do it is you, but to break it down and know those top goals, know the actions you want to take, and then come back in 30 days and review that plan and celebrate and go through the same questions every single month can shift your business immensely if you commit to the process. So have fun with it. Would love to know if you try this. Put some comments below. Follow me, subscribe to my channel. And I have an invitation for you. If you want to have these discussions, I run something called the Bistro Bite. It's every Monday morning at 11 o'clock Eastern. And it's intended for women entrepreneurs who want to set their intention for that week, who really want to kind of sit back, have a conversation with other women entrepreneurs, and set their intentions. We have questions, we have different directions that we take, but it's really intended to create that focus, to simplify things and really get rid of all the noise that comes at us and focus on what's really going to matter and shift your business for the week. So thank you so. Oh, sorry. There you go. Lost my voice. Lost my words. Come and join the Beast to Ride if it interests you. Play with the Create and Plan Your Awesome Month. Do this, commit to this. Give yourself the gift of that 1 hour every month, and it will shift your business.